In life, many of us believe that always being present for others will make us more important in their lives. We think that if we are always the first to reply to messages, always the one to say yes to every plan, and always available whenever someone needs us, people will appreciate us more. But the reality is very different. When you are always available, your value starts to decrease. People begin to take your presence for granted. They stop seeing you as someone special because they know you will always be there no matter what. This happens because human nature often works in strange ways. When something is easily available, we don't value it much. Think about air. It is everywhere, so most of us forget its importance. But the moment we struggle to breathe, air suddenly becomes precious. The same applies to people. If you are constantly present, people assume they don't need to make an effort to keep you around. They believe you will always adjust, compromise, and show up, even if they don't value your time. When you are too available, people also start to expect it as your duty. They forget that you have your own life, your own priorities, and your own dreams. Instead of appreciating your presence, they begin to take advantage of your kindness. Slowly, they stop asking how you are. They stop respecting your boundaries. They might even lose respect for you because, in their minds, anything that comes easily loses its worth. On the other hand, when you choose to value your own time and space, you teach people to value it too. When you are not always available, your absence makes people think. They start to wonder where you are, why you are not replying instantly, and what is keeping you busy. This curiosity builds importance. People begin to understand that your time is valuable, and being around you is not something they can take for granted. This does not mean you should cut off people or ignore your loved ones. It simply means you should set healthy boundaries and prioritize yourself. Life is not about constantly pleasing others at the cost of losing your own value. When you are constantly available, you lose the chance to focus on your personal growth, your dreams, and your own happiness. But when you step back and invest time in yourself, learning new skills, working on your goals, or simply enjoying your own company, you grow into a stronger, more confident person. This growth increases your value, and people notice it. When you value yourself, you raise your standards. You no longer settle for being treated like an option. You become someone people respect, admire, and want to be around. Your presence becomes meaningful, and your absence becomes powerful. You become like a rare gem, something that people appreciate, not because you are always available, but because your presence adds real value to their lives. In the end, the goal is not to make people miss you just for attention. The goal is to respect yourself enough that your presence becomes valuable and your absence leaves a mark. By valuing yourself first, you teach others how to value you too. So remember, being always available does not make you valuable, it makes you ordinary. Choose to be valuable, choose to raise your worth. Let them miss you, not because you disappeared, but because you became someone so valuable that your time matters to you and to everyone around you. When someone is always present, we rarely stop to think about how important they are. Their presence becomes routine, something we expect without effort. But when that person is absent, when their voice, their support, their energy is suddenly missing, that is when we begin to realize their value. This is the power of absence. It creates curiosity, and more importantly, it forces people to recognize the importance of what they once had, but took for granted. Human nature is wired this way. We rarely treasure what is constantly in front of us. We take people, time, and opportunities for granted simply because they feel permanent. But when they step back or disappear for a while, our mind starts to notice the empty space they leave behind. We wonder where they are, why they are not around, and what they might be doing. This curiosity pulls our attention toward them. Suddenly, their presence feels valuable because it is no longer guaranteed. Absence does not mean cutting off people entirely or disappearing to play mind games. It means understanding the power of space. Creating healthy distance so that your presence is never taken for granted. When you are always available, people assume you will always be there, no matter how they treat you. But when you are absent, even for a short while, they are forced to reflect. They start to see what you brought into their life. The comfort, the joy, the support, all the small things they never paid attention to before. Absence also builds respect. People respect those who value their own time and energy. If you are constantly chasing someone, answering every message within seconds, showing up at every request, they begin to feel that you have nothing valuable to do with your life. Your time starts to seem cheap. But when you are sometimes unavailable because you are busy building your own life, chasing your dreams, or simply prioritizing your peace, people respect that. They understand that your time is precious and they will work harder to earn it. Curiosity plays a major role here. When you step back, people start to wonder about you. What are you doing? Why are you not replying instantly like before? Are you working on something exciting? This sense of mystery adds to your charm. People are naturally drawn to things they cannot fully understand or predict. Your absence creates that mystery. It keeps you interesting, and interest leads to value. But the biggest power of absence is the realization it brings. When you are gone, people are left with memories of how you made them feel. They remember your kindness, your laughter, your unique way of seeing the world. And because you are no longer there to provide those things instantly, they begin to miss them. This longing is where true value is born. People finally understand that your presence was a gift, not a guarantee. This is not about playing hard to get or pretending to be busy for no reason. It is about living your life fully, being so engaged in your own growth and happiness that your presence becomes something meaningful, not something automatic. When you live with purpose, your absence has weight because your presence has meaning. In the end, absence creates curiosity, but more than that, it teaches people a valuable lesson. Nothing valuable should ever be taken for granted. When you allow yourself to step back, to give space, you give people a chance to see how much you truly matter, and when they realize your importance in your absence, they will value you even more in your presence. This is the beautiful balance between being there and knowing when to step away. In life, the most valuable thing you can invest in is yourself. When you focus on your own goals and personal growth, you are not just improving your skills or achieving success, you are raising your value in the eyes of the world. People respect those who have direction, ambition, and a sense of purpose. When you choose to prioritize your own development, you automatically show others that your time, energy, and presence are valuable because you are working towards something meaningful. Many people make the mistake of losing themselves in the process of trying to please everyone around them. They say yes to every plan, respond to every message instantly, and put others' needs ahead of their own dreams. In doing so, they send the message that their own time and ambitions are not important. But when you shift your focus inward, when you start setting goals for yourself, working on your skills, and chasing your dreams, you send a completely different message. You show that you are a person with a vision, someone who values their life and future. Personal growth is powerful because it makes you more interesting and inspiring. People are naturally drawn to those who are constantly evolving, learning, and improving themselves. When you dedicate your time to becoming better, you develop confidence, knowledge, and unique experiences that make you stand out. Your conversations become richer, your energy becomes more magnetic, and your presence feels more valuable because you are bringing something new to the table. Ideas, insights, and inspiration. Focusing on your goals also gives you independence, and independence is attractive. When you have your own ambitions, you are not relying on others for your happiness or identity. You are not constantly seeking attention or validation because you are too busy building a life that fulfills you. This sense of purpose makes you stronger, and people respect strength. They admire those who know what they want and are willing to work hard for it. When you have your own direction, people no longer see you as someone who is always available for their convenience. They see you as someone valuable whose time must be earned. Another powerful effect of personal growth is that it helps you discover your true worth. When you achieve something you once thought was impossible, your self-belief grows. When you learn a new skill, overcome a fear, or take a step closer to your dream, you start to see yourself in a brighter light. This inner confidence changes how you carry yourself. You walk differently, speak differently, and think differently. And this transformation is noticed by the people around you. When you focus on yourself, you also naturally attract people who respect that mindset. You surround yourself with others who are also driven, ambitious, and focused on growth. This positive circle not only supports your journey, but also enhances your value further because you become part of a network of valuable people. At the end of the day, your value is not determined by how much you do for others or how available you are to them. Your value is determined by how much you do for yourself, how committed you are to becoming the best version of you. When you focus on your goals and personal growth, you transform into someone people admire, respect, and want to be around. You become someone who inspires, not someone who is simply convenient. So remember this. The more you invest in yourself, the more valuable you become. Work on your dreams, learn new things, push yourself out of your comfort zone. When you raise your own value, the world will start to see your worth, and so will you. Valuing your own time and energy is one of the most important lessons you can learn in life. When you respect your time, you set a standard for how others should treat you. If you always allow others to waste your time, if you constantly say yes to every demand without thinking about your own priorities, you send a clear message that your time has no value. And if you don't value it, why would anyone else? Time and energy are two things you can never get back once they are spent. Every minute you give away without purpose is a minute you could have invested in your own growth, happiness, or success. People who understand their own worth know this. They carefully choose where they invest their time and who they allow to have access to it. They are not rude or selfish. They simply understand that time is precious. This understanding teaches others that if they want your time, they must respect it. When you begin to set boundaries, people may be surprised at first. They might even get upset because they were used to having constant access to you. But over time, they will learn that your time is valuable, and if they want to be part of your life, they need to respect your limits. This doesn't mean you have to cut people off or become distant. It simply means you no longer sacrifice your peace and goals just to please others. Respecting your energy is just as important. Every interaction, every conversation, every activity you choose to be part of either adds to your energy or drains it. When you allow toxic people, meaningless gossip, or unnecessary drama to take up your energy, you are wasting a resource that should be saved for things that matter. Your dreams, your passions, your health, and the people who genuinely care about you. When you value your energy, you naturally become more selective about who you spend your time with and what activities you engage in. People respect those who respect themselves. If you show that your time and energy are valuable, others will start to see you as someone who has purpose and self-respect. On the other hand, if you are always available, always saying yes, and always putting others before yourself, people start to assume that your time must not be important. After all, you are always giving it away so easily. Valuing your time and energy also helps you achieve more in life. When you stop wasting time on unnecessary things, you have more space to focus on your goals. You become more productive, more creative, and more successful. Success itself demands that you protect your time fiercely. Every successful person, whether in business, art, or personal development, knows that their time is their greatest asset, and they do not allow anyone to waste it. This change starts with self-respect. When you believe you are worthy of a great life, you automatically start treating your time and energy like gold. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop apologizing for setting boundaries. You understand that saying no is not rude, it's necessary. You realize that the people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and the ones who don't were only using you for their convenience. In the end, valuing your own time and energy is not just about protecting yourself, it's about teaching others how to treat you. When you show that your time matters, people will think twice before wasting it. They will understand that being part of your life is a privilege, not a right. And most importantly, you will start living a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful because you finally gave yourself the respect you deserve. True value comes from being rare, just like diamonds. This simple yet powerful truth applies not only to precious stones, but also to human beings. In a world where so many people are constantly trying to fit in, always available at the snap of a finger and desperately seeking attention, rarity has become one of the most valuable qualities a person can have. When something is rare, people automatically see it as special. Its limited presence makes it more desirable, and that is exactly how human value works too. Think about diamonds. Why are they so valuable? It's not just because they are beautiful or shiny, it's because they are hard to find. They are formed deep within the earth under intense pressure, and only a few are ever discovered. This rarity gives them a sense of importance and prestige. People desire diamonds not because they are useful, but because they are rare. Now imagine applying the same concept to yourself. If you are constantly available, if you say yes to every invitation, reply to every message instantly, and always try to please everyone, your presence becomes common. And what is common is never truly valued. Being rare doesn't mean disappearing completely or ignoring people to play games. It means being selective with your time, your attention, and your energy. It means living in such a way that your presence feels like a privilege, not a guarantee. When people know they cannot have you all the time, they start to appreciate every moment they get with you. Your words carry more weight, your presence feels more meaningful, and your absence leaves a mark. Rarity also comes from uniqueness. Diamonds are not just rare, each one is different. Their cuts, colors, and internal patterns make them one of a kind. Similarly, your value increases when you embrace your uniqueness. Instead of copying others, trying to fit into trends, or constantly seeking approval, you create your own path. You become someone who offers something no one else can. Your unique personality, your ideas, your way of seeing the world. People are drawn to originality. They remember those who stand out, not those who blend in. Another reason rarity creates value is because people crave what they cannot easily have. Human psychology is wired this way. When something is easily available, we automatically assume it's not that special. But when something is hard to access, limited, or requires effort to attain, we value it more. This applies to everything from luxury brands to friendships. When you set boundaries and protect your time, people understand that your presence is not cheap. It is something to be earned. Being rare also means prioritizing your personal growth. Diamonds do not become valuable overnight. They go through a long process of formation, pressure, and polishing. Similarly, when you invest in yourself, learning, growing, improving your skills, you become more valuable. Your time becomes precious because you are using it to build something meaningful. And when people see that you value yourself, they automatically value you more. In the end, true value comes from being rare, not from trying to please everyone. A rare person is someone who knows their worth, who chooses quality over quantity, and who understands that their time and energy are treasures, not something to be wasted. Just like a diamond shines brighter because of its rarity, you will shine brighter when you embrace your uniqueness, protect your energy, and stop making yourself too available. Remember, people treasure what they cannot easily have, so become that treasure. Be rare and your value will rise naturally. When you become valuable, both your presence and your absence hold power. This is one of the most important lessons to understand in life. Value is not just about what you own or what you achieve. True value comes from who you are, what you bring to the table, and how you impact the people around you. When you become a person of value, your presence is something people appreciate, and your absence is something they feel deeply. In life, many people chase attention by constantly being present, always available, and always trying to stay in everyone's view. But this constant availability actually reduces their value. When someone is always around, their presence becomes ordinary, something expected rather than something appreciated. On the other hand, when someone is valuable, when they have qualities that make them stand out, when they live with purpose, and when they respect their own time, both their presence and absence gain meaning. When you enter a room as a valuable person, people notice. Your words have weight because people know you don't speak just to fill silence. You speak to add meaning. Your presence brings a sense of importance because you don't waste your time where you don't belong. People know that if you are here, it's because you chose to be here and your time is valuable. This makes your presence powerful. People listen more closely, they respect your opinions, and they value your company. However, the true test of value is what happens when you are not there. When an ordinary person is absent, their absence goes unnoticed. But when a valuable person is absent, their absence creates a void. People wonder why you are not there. They feel the difference and they start to reflect on the value you brought. This is the power of absence. But it only works when you have built real value first. Becoming valuable is not about fame or wealth. It's about building yourself from the inside out, developing knowledge, skills, and character that make you someone worth knowing. It's about being reliable, kind, wise, creative, and strong. When you develop these qualities, people start to see you as someone important in their life. They come to you for advice, they trust your guidance, and they value your opinions. And when you are not around, they miss all those qualities. They realize how much you contributed to their life simply because they feel the lack of it when you are gone. This balance between presence and absence is what makes valuable people unforgettable. They don't force their way into every conversation or event. They choose where to be and where not to be. They know their value, so they do not need to prove it by always being present. Their absence speaks just as loudly as their presence because both are intentional. When you become valuable, you stop fearing being forgotten when you are not around. Instead, you trust that the value you have built is enough to make people remember you, appreciate you, and even miss you when you are gone. This is a peaceful kind of power, not the power that comes from controlling others, but the power that comes from knowing your worth. The goal is not to disappear just to make people miss you. The goal is to become so valuable that your absence naturally creates space for appreciation and reflection. People will remember the way you made them feel, the wisdom you shared, the energy you brought, and that memory will hold power. When your presence adds meaning and your absence leaves a mark, you have truly become valuable. And that kind of value lasts far longer than any temporary attention ever could.